إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. أما بعد، فوصلنا إلى قول المؤلف رحمه الله: ولا يتم الحكم حتى تجتمع كل الشروط والموانع ترتفع.
The Shaykh Hafidhullah, he started off with the khutbah al-hajah, praising Allah and sending salat and salam upon the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then he said, after that, we have now reached to the statement of the author rahimahullah, and no ruling or judgment is complete until all of its conditions are gathered and every hindrance is removed or uplifted.
مراد المؤلف رحمه الله تعالى بهذا البيت أن أي عبادة أو معاملة لا تصح إلا إذا توفرت جميع شروطها وانتفت موانعها.
He said that which is intended by the author with this line of poetry is that any form of worship or any action, it will not be correct or yasih, it will not be correct or sound until it has gathered all of its conditions and every hindrance or mani' is uplifted or removed.
ولا يتم الحكم يعني لا يصح الحكم حتى تتوفر الشروط وتنتفي الموانع.
And so he says this statement, and it will not be complete any hukum. He says complete here means yasih, meaning it will not be sound or correct any ruling or judgment for any affair until it has gathered or it has been present there in all of its conditions, and all of the mawani or all of the hindrances to that thing have been done away with.
الصحيح من العبادات يا إخوان هي العبادة التي تسقط المطالبة عن صاحبها وتبرأ ذمته.
He says that which is sahih, or that which is sound or accepted from the different forms of worship, oh my brothers, is that what it removes the request of it being done from the one who was doing it, and it frees his dhimma or his honor or his self from the responsibility of it.
فمن صلى صلاة صحيحة مفروضة إذا توفرت شروطها وانتفت موانعها فإنه لا يطالب بها بعد ذلك وتبرأ ذمته ويترتب عليها الأجر إن شاء الله.
He says, so if an individual was to pray a salat that was sahih, it was correct and mafrood, and it was obligated or legislated upon him, and he had all of the conditions therein present, and all of the hindrances to that action were removed, then his salat will be now considered to be sahih, and it would be accepted or sound, and it would be he would not be requested to do it anymore, and his dhimma would be free of that from that point on, and it would be based upon that likewise an ajr, inshallah.
كل عبادة لها شروط. الصلاة لها شروط مثل النية وستر العورة واستقبال القبلة والطهارة، ولها موانع إذا وجدت تمنع صحة الصلاة مثل الحيض في حق المرأة.
He says, so every form of worship has conditions. The salat has conditions, like intention and covering the awrah and facing the qibla. And he says, and likewise they have mawani, or things that prevent them from being done, like the woman in her menses. This is something that prevents the salat from being done.
والشرط يا إخوان هو ما يلزم من عدمه العدم، يعني إذا لم يوجد فتعتبر العبادة غير موجودة. ولا يلزم من وجوده وجود ولا عدم.
He says in the word, and he says the condition, the word shart, it means that which is absence necessitates absence. Meaning if this thing is not present, then the action itself is not present. But its presence does not necessitate presence nor absence.
مثال ذلك الطهارة شرط لصحة الصلاة. إذا عدمت الطهارة ليست موجودة فإن صحة الصلاة تكون معدومة.
He says, so an example of that is purity or purification, tahara. He says, so if a person does not have this tahara, then if this is absent, then his salat will be absent. It will be ma'doom. It won't be there.
ووجود الطهارة لا يلزم منه وجود الصلاة لأن الإنسان قد يتوضأ لغير الصلاة.
But the presence or the existence of one possessing or having tahara, it does not necessitate that one be making salah, because a person might make tahara for reasons other than salah.
وهكذا بالنسبة لستر العورة. ستر العورة شرط لصحة الصلاة. إذا عدم يعني من صلى وعورته منكشفة فصلاته باطلة.
And likewise is the covering of one's awrah, or the private area. The covering of one's private area is a condition for the correctness of the salat. So if this is absent, then that individual's salat is batil or not accepted.
وهكذا يا إخوان المانع ما يلزم من وجوده العدم. إذا وجد المانع عدمت العبادة.
And he says, likewise, my brothers, this is what is in regards to the mani, or the prohibitor, or the hindrance, that which its presence necessitates the absence of the action.
مثال ذلك الحيض في حق المرأة في الصلاة والصيام.
He says, so an example of that is the period or the menses in regards to the woman in regards to the woman in connection to salat and siyam.
الحيض مانع من موانع صحة الصلاة والصيام.
So this hayd, this mens, is a hindrance or a prohibitor of the salah and fasting.
إذا وجد الحيض انتفت صحة الصلاة وصحة الصيام.
So if this hayd, this period or this mens is present, then it is null and void, or is not. There cannot be present or is not sound the salat nor the fasting.
فالعبادة لا تكون صحيحة تبرأ بها الذمة ويترتب عليها الأجر إلا إذا توفرت كل شروطها وانتفت كل موانعها.
So therefore worship, it cannot be accepted, and it will not be accepted or sound unless it has accomplished all of its conditions, and all of the things that might be a hindrance for it are removed and uplifted.
وهذه القاعدة إخواني الكرام متفق عليها عند العلماء.
And this principle, oh my honored brothers, is something that is agreed upon amongst the scholars.
وهي كما تقدم في العبادات وفي المعاملات.
And it's as we said earlier, that it's present in all the forms of worship, and likewise transactions or actions or business actions.
من شروط صحة البيع أن يكون المال مملوكا للبائع أو مأذونا له في بيته.
So from the conditions of the soundness or the correctness of selling is that the thing that one is selling be something that he himself owns, is from his property, or he has been given permission to act therein.
فإذا فقد هذا الشرط وهو أن يكون المال المبيع ليس ملكا للبائع ولا مأذونا له في بيعه فإن البيع يكون باطلا.
And so if this condition is not present, and that is that that which is being sold be the property of the one that's selling, or he has been given permission to act therein, then this business transaction, this sale, will be batil or not accepted.
والبيع الصحيح إخواني الكرام هو الذي تترتب عليه آثاره.
And the sound or the accepted business transaction or selling is the one where it is based upon it all of its effects.
أنا لو بعت هذا الجهاز للأخ أبي ريحانة يترتب عليه أمران. الأول يصبح هذا الجهاز ملكا للأخ أبي ريحانة، والثاني يصبح المال الذي دفعه أبو ريحانة ملكا لي.
He says that, and so if I was to sell this device to the brother Abi Rayhana, then it is based upon this, it is built upon this two things. One, that this device will now become the property of Abu Rayhana, and likewise that the money that Abu Rayhana purchased this device from me now will become property to me.
أما البيع الفاسد أو الباطل فإنه لا تترتب عليه هذه الآثار.
And as far as the bay that is considered to be fasid or corrupt or batil or not null and void or false, then it is the one that is not based upon it these type of effects.
إذن يا إخواني لا بد في صحة العبادة والمعاملة من توفر جميع شروطها وانتفاء جميع موانعها.
So therefore, my brothers, it is necessary in the soundness of a business transaction, and it's being accepted that it possess all of its conditions, and all of the mawani or all of the hindrances or prohibitors be removed.
من شروط صحة الزواج أن يتزوج المسلم مسلمة أو كتابية محصنة.
So from the conditions of the soundness or the correctness of marriage is that a Muslim marry a Muslim woman or a woman from the people of the book.
فإن تزوج مشركة وثنية يكون هذا الشرط قد انتفى.
So if he was to marry a woman who was a mushrika, a person who worshiped idols, then this condition would not be present.
وفي هذه الحال يكون هذا الزواج باطلا.
And in this situation, then this marriage would be batil or false and not accepted.
يقولون الإسلام ظلم المرأة.
They say that Islam was unjust or oppressive to a woman.
لأن الإسلام يجيز لأبي معاوية أن يتزوج كتابية محصنة.
Because Islam makes it permissible for Abi Muawiyah to marry a woman from the people of the book who was muhsana, yani who was chaste.
لكنه لا يجيز
But it does not make it permissible
للمسلمة أن تتزوج بكتاب.
for a Muslim woman to marry a man from the people of the book.
من يرد على هذا الكلام؟
Who can refute this statement?
يا أخوان عائشة
عشان الرجل عنده سيطرة في البيت.
نعم.
فإذا يعني خلينا المرأة تتزوج بكتابي يعني هو سيسيطر عليها ويؤثر فيها في دينها. وأما إذا خلينا امرأة تتزوج بكتاب مسلم يتزوج بكتابية فإن شاء الله يصبح مسلم وإلا الأولاد كل هذا يعني وما يترتب على ذلك.
كلام طيب. أيضا نريد ردا آخر.
He says.
إلى رد الشيخ عبد الحكيم.
So I mentioned my statement. He said we want another statement.
What's your statement?
My statement was that is. The statement I said was that if we were to leave a kitabiya, if we were to leave a Muslim woman under a kitabi man, then he would affect her and he would have the control over her household and he would affect her in her religion. But if we were to leave a Muslim man over a kitabi woman, then he would affect her and likewise have control over her, and hopefully we would hope for her Islam and likewise everything that is connected to the kids and things like that, about them being raised up correctly and things like that.
هل يجوز للزوج المسلم إذا تزوج كتابية محصنة أن يجبرها على الإسلام؟
Is it permissible for a husband, a Muslim husband, that if he were to marry a non-Muslim woman from the people of the book, is it permissible for him to force her into Islam?
هل يجوز له أن يسب المسيح أو يسب مريم عليهم السلام أو يسب رموز الديانة النصرانية؟
Is it permissible for him to curse the Messiah or Maryam alayhim as-salam, or is it permissible for him to curse the tenets of their Christianity religion?
لكن لو تزوجت المسلمة كتابيا هل الكتاب يعترف بدين الإسلام؟
But if a Muslim woman was to marry a kitabi man or a man from the people of the book, does this man from the person of the book recognize and adhere to the tenets of Islam?
هل ممكن يجبرها على ترك الإسلام؟
Isn't it possible that he try to force her on leaving Islam?
هل ممكن يسب نبينا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم أمامها ويجرح مشاعرها؟
Isn't it possible that he could curse the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم in front of her and attack the mashair that she has?
في هذه الحال هل الإسلام صان المرأة أم ظلم المرأة؟
So in this situation, has Islam protected the woman or has it oppressed her?
يا إخوان الإسلام صان المرأة ولله الحمد. ثم قال رحمه الله ومن أتى بما عليه من عمل قد استحق ماله على العمل.
And then the author, he goes on to say, rahimahullah, and whoever has performed that which is obligatory upon him from work or from actions, then he deserves that which he deserves from that action.
هذا البيت عبر به الناظم عن قاعدة فقهية متفق عليها وهي قاعدة مهمة.
He says the author here has expressed a very important qawaid fiqhi, Islamic law principle. He has expressed it here, and it is the principle that is.
القاعدة تقول إذا أدى ما عليه وجب له ما جعل له عليه.
The principle is that if he performs or carries out that which was upon him or obligatory upon him, then to him is that which has been made for him or made necessary for him for that which he has performed.
يقول الشيخ السعدي رحمه الله هذا شامل للأعمال والأعواض يعني البيع والشراء.
He says that Shaykh Sa'di rahimahullah, he said this is encompassing, or this includes everything from the actions and likewise the recompenses, or the iwad, meaning the buying and selling.
وجميع العقود بين البشر.
And every contract between human beings.
فالأجير على عمل.
So someone who has been rented or hired for an action.
والمجاعل عليه.
And the one who has done this, who has rented him or hired him.
إذا عمل ذلك العمل وكمله استحق الأجرة.
If he has completed this, المجاعل عليه.
المجاعل عليه.
المجاعل عليه. He said, I translated that المجاعلة العوض من الصلة.
المجاعلة أو الجعالة، أن أقول أنا مثلا سيارتي مسروقة، من أتى بها فله 1000 دينار.
He says, so whoever was hired for a purpose, or this muja'ala was done, which is where somebody basically puts out a reward for something and he performs this action, then he deserves that.
وعلى هذا يا إخواني، لو أن أخانا الحبيب أبا ريحان اتفق مع عامل أن يصلح له شيئا في بيته، ثم قام هذا العامل بإصلاح هذا الشيء، ففي هذه الحال يجب على أبي ريحان أن يعطيه المبلغ المتفق عليه.
So if our brother Abu Rayhana hired someone to fix something that was in his home, and this individual performed that action and fixed that thing that was in his home, then in this situation it is obligatory upon our brother Abu Rayhana that he pay this individual that which they agreed upon.
كذلك من كان عنده خادم يعمل عنده، إذا أدى الخادم عمله وجب له الحق المتفق عليه.
And likewise, if he had a servant or an assistant under him that carried out his task, then it is upon him at that point in time to give this khadim or this servant that which they have agreed about, or that which is due to him.
ثم قال رحمه الله: وكل حكم دائر مع علته وهي التي قد أوجبت لشرعته.
And then the author goes on to say, he says, so he goes on to the line that says, in every hukm, and every ruling is based around its illah, and it is based around its justification, and it is the thing that has made it necessary in the religion or in the legislation.
القاعدة تقول: الحكم يدور مع علته وجودا وعدما.
The principle states that the ruling is around, or it circles around its justification when it's present, whether it's for being present or absent.
والعلة يا إخواني في الأحكام الشرعية المقصود بها الوصف الذي علق الشرع عليه الحكم. الوصف الذي علق الشرع عليه الحكم.
And this word illah, or justification, as we translate it in the legislation or in the religion of my brothers, it means that it is the description that the legislation has based the judgment upon it, or has based the ruling upon it.
وهناك فرق بين العلة والحكمة.
And there is a difference between this illah, or the justification, and the hikmah, or the wisdom.
وبالمثال يتضح الحال.
And by way of example, the situation is clarified.
المسافر في نهار رمضان يجوز له الفطر.
So the one who is traveling in the daytime of Ramadan, it is permissible for him to break his fast.
متى يجوز له الفطر؟ إذا سافر.
When is it permissible for him to break his fast? When he travels.
إذن علة فطره في نهار رمضان السفر.
So then therefore the justification or the reason or the purpose for him breaking his fast in the daytime of Ramadan is the fact that he was traveling.
وضحت الآن يا إخوان العلة ما هي؟
Is it clarified, O brothers, therefore what is this illah, or what is this reasoning or justification?
شيخ عبد القادر قلنا السفر.
We said that it's traveling. Listen.
الآن اسمع. ما الحكمة من إباحة الشريعة للمسافر أن يفطر في نهار رمضان.
So now the question is, what is the wisdom from the fact that the legislation or the religion has allowed made it permissible for the traveler to break his fast in the daytime of Ramadan?
أنا وماحد.
To prevent harm from
تخفيف الضرر يعني.
لا. لوجود المشقة.
He says, no, the answer is due to the hardship that is upon him.
الآن عرفنا يا إخواني الفرق بين العلة والحكمة.
So now, my brothers, have we understood the difference between the purpose or the justification and the wisdom?
مثال آخر الخمر.
Another example would be alcohol.
علة تحريم الخمر الإسكار، يعني أنها تسكر الإنسان.
The justification or the reason or the purpose behind making khamr haram is the fact that it intoxicates.
هذه هي علة تحريم الخمر.
So this is the purpose or the reasoning behind making khamr haram.
ما الحكمة من تحريم الخمر؟
What's the wisdom behind making khamr haram?
أن مفاسدها أعظم من منافعها.
Is that its harms are greater than its benefits.
المؤلف يقول الحكم يدور مع علته وجودا وعدما.
The author he says that the hukm or the ruling or the judgment it circulates around its justification being present or absent.
إذا وجدت العلة وجد الحكم.
If the justification or the purpose or the reasoning behind it is present, then the ruling or the judgment is present.
وإذا انتفت العلة انتفى الحكم.
And if the illah is not present, then the judgment or the ruling is not present.
مثلا عندنا عصير برتقال أورنج.
We have with us an orange juice.
وضعناه بالشمس فتخمر أصبح مسكرا أصبح خمرا.
We put it in the sun and it became fermented and now it's become liquor. It's become something that intoxicates.
في هذه الحال لا يجوز شرب هذا العصير.
So in this situation it is not permissible for us to drink this juice.
عصير برتقال وضع فيه شيء من الخمر.
Orange juice that's a little bit of alcohol was placed into it.
ما حكم شربه؟
What's the judgment? What's the ruling about drinking it?
حرام.
It's haram.
لو أنهم استخرجوا هذا الخمر من هذا العصير.
If he was to take this khamr out of this orange juice,
ما حكم شرب العصير؟
what's the ruling about drinking this juice?
حلال. لماذا؟
It's halal. Why?
لأن الحكم يدور مع علته وجودا وعدما.
Because the justification is based around its purpose, whether it's present or absent.
إذا وجد السفر في نهار رمضان جاز الفطر للمسافر.
So if someone is to be found traveling in the daytime of Ramadan, it's now permissible for him to break his fast during his travel.
وإذا عدم السفر عدم الجواز.
And if he is not, and if this traveling is not present, then it is not permissible.
وهذا يا إخواني من القواعد الغاية في الأهمية.
And this principle, oh my brothers, you'll find it to be from the most important of goals or principles.
ويجب أن تعلموا أمرا مهما للغاية.
And it's very important that you know that the affairs that are very important or their goals behind them that are very important.
وهو أن المحرمات على قسمين.
And it is that, and this thing that is important that you know is that the things that are muharram or haram are two types.
هناك محرمات لذاتها.
There are things that are haram due to their own self.
وهناك محرمات لغيرها.
And there are also things that are haram due to other reasons besides themselves.
يعني حرمت لأنها وسيلة إلى محرم أعظم.
Meaning that they have been made prohibited due to the fact of them being a means to something that is haram that is greater than them.
مثال ذلك الزنا.
An example of that is zina.
محرم لذاته.
It's haram for itself because of what it is.
لكن مصافحة المرأة الأجنبية.
But shaking the hand of a woman who is ajnabi or not permissible for you to shake her hand.
وخلوة الرجل بالمرأة.
And being alone and the being secluded between a man and a woman.
والنظر إلى العورات.
And looking at the awrat.
كلها وسيلة إلى الوقوع في الزنا.
Then all of this is a means to ending up in committing zina.
فهي محرمة لغيرها لا لذاتها.
So they are made haram due to other than them, not because of what they are.
ماذا نستفيد من هذا التقسيم؟
What do we benefit from this breaking or this categorization?
الجواب اكتبوا يا إخوان.
The answer, and I want you to write it.
المحرم لذاته لا تبيحه إلا الضرورة.
That which is haram due to its own self or because of what it is, the only thing that makes it permissible is necessity.
والمحرم لغيره تبيحه الحاجة.
And that which is haram due to something other than what it is, then this can be made permissible due to an haja or due to a need.
وإذا تأملنا يا إخواني في مسألة العلة والحكم ودورانه مع علته.
And if we were to ponder, oh my brothers, between this issue of the judgment or the ruling and this illah or justification or purpose or reasoning, and how they how the ruling circles around it and is based on it,
سنعرف أن من أفتى من العلماء ببعض الفتاوى التي يظن البعض أنها مصادمة للنصوص إنما أفتوا بها بناء على هذه القاعدة.
we will understand now that some of the fatwa that some of the scholars have given, that some people might think that they crash or go against the text, they will be based upon this principle.
ومثال ذلك ما أفتى به شيخ الإسلام ابن تيمية رحمه الله.
And an example of that is that which was the religious verdict that was given by Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah.
شيخ الإسلام يرى أنه يجوز للمرأة أن تسافر من غير ذي محرم إذا كان الطريق آمنا.
So Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah, he has the opinion that it's permissible for the woman to take a trip without a mahram if the path was safe.
لأنه يرى أن علة تحريم أو النهي عن سفر المرأة من غير محرم هو خشية أن تتعرض للأذى.
Because he saw that the wisdom or the justification, not the wisdom, the justification or the purpose or the reasoning behind the prohibition of the woman taking a trip is the fear of the harm that might have and come to this woman.
واستدل رحمه الله بدليل من الصحيحين.
And he used as an evidence rahimahullah a proof from the Sahihain.
وهو أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أخبر أن في آخر الزمان تخرج الضعينة يعني المرأة من الحيرة إلى مكة لا تخشى حتى تطوف بالبيت لا تخشى إلا الله والذئب على أرضها.
And he said, he mentioned the hadith that the Prophet ﷺ mentioned at the end of in the last days that a woman will leave from Hira to Mecca to perform tawaf around the house. She won't fear anything other than Allah, and after which the wolves.
ليس كل ما أخبر به النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أنه من علامات الساعة يكون مذموما.
Not everything that the Prophet ﷺ informed us about it being from the signs of the hour is praiseworthy or disparagable.
فقد أخبر عليه الصلاة والسلام عن فتح بيت المقدس.
Because he informed us عليه الصلاة والسلام about the conquest of Bayt al-Maqdis.
ولا يوجد عاقل يقول أن فتح بيت المقدس للمسلمين أنه مذموم.
And there's not any intellectual individual from the Muslimin that would say the conquest of Bayt al-Maqdis is something that is blameworthy.
وأخبر عليه الصلاة والسلام عن ظهور القلم يعني انتفاء الأمية.
And he sallallahu alayhi wa sallam informed us about the appearance of the pen, meaning the to benefit from the different types of knowledges.
ولا يقول أحد أن هذا الأمر مذموم.
And no one will say that this situation is blameworthy.
فكونه عليه الصلاة والسلام أخبر عن هذه الضعينة أنها تخرج من الحيرة إلى حتى يطوف بالبيت لا يدل على أن هذا الفعل منها مذموم.
So the fact that he sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the simple fact that he said to us that this woman will leave from Hira to Mecca to make tawaf around the Bayt, this in itself does not show, or this does not show that this action is madhmoom.
ولو كان فعلها مذموما لبينه النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم.
And if this action was something that was dispraised or blameworthy, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam would have clarified it.
حتى العلماء الذين يجزمون بالتحريم.
Even the scholars that are have no doubt, or they say directly without any irrevocably about the prohibition of it.
يرون أن المرأة إذا احتاجت إلى السفر من غير ذي محرم أنه يجوز لها.
That they still have the opinion that if the woman needs, she has a hajj to make a safar without a person, or make a trip without a person that's a mahram for her, then it's permissible for her.
حتى لو لم تكن مضطرة.
Even if she wasn't in a state of necessity.
مثال ذلك لو أن امرأة في مدينة كافرة.
An example of that is if a woman was in a city of kuffar.
ثم أسلم.
And then as she accepts Islam,
فاحتاجت أن تنتقل إلى مدينة تأمن فيها على نفسها وعلى دينها.
and now she needs to move to a city that she feels safe about, therein about herself and her religion.
يجوز لها في هذه الحال أن تسافر.
It's permissible for her in this situation to travel
من غير ذي محرم.
without any mahram.
وهذا من الفقه العالي يا إخواني لمسائل الدين.
And this is from the high understanding or the high fiqh in the issues of the religion, my brothers.
إذن الحكم يدور مع علته وجودا وعدم.
So therefore the ruling about something is based around its purpose or its justification, whether in making it present or making it absent.
ثم قال رحمه الله: وكل شرط لازم للعاقد في البيع والنكاح والمقاصد إلا شروطا حللت محرما أو عكسه فباطلات فاعلما.
And then the author, he goes on to say, rahimahullah, and every condition is necessary upon the contractors in buying and in marriage and in maqasid, and like except shurut or conditions that make something halal that was haram, or the opposite, then these are all false. And so know this.
العقود يا إخواني في الشريعة الإسلامية العقود المالية على قسمين.
He says the contracts, all my brothers in the religion of Islam, the contracts are two categories.
هناك عقود لازمة.
There are contracts that are necessary.
وهناك عقود جائزة.
And there are contracts that are okay or permissible.
ما معنى لازمة وجائزة في هذا الحال؟
What is necessary or lazima and jaiza or permissible mean in these situations?
العقد اللازم بين الطرفين هو الذي لا يجوز لأحد الطرفين أن يلغيه إلا برضا الطرف الآخر.
The contracts that are necessary or lazim between the two contracting parties are the ones that it is not permissible for one of those contracting parties to abrogate it or revoke it except with the permission of the other.
وأما العقد الجائز فهو الذي يجوز لأحد الطرفين أن يلغيه دون رضا وحتى علم الطرف الآخر.
As far as the contracts that are jaiz or permissible in this term, well, there are the ones that is permissible therein for one of the parties to annul it or abrogate it without the permission or even without the knowledge of the other.
مثال ذلك لو أن الأخ أبا ريحانة وكل الأخ عبد الحكيم.
An example of that is if the brother Abu Rayhana appointed the brother Abdul Hakim.
أعطاه توكيلا.
He gave him some. He gave him a tawkil. He appointed him to do something.
فإنه يجوز للأخ أبي ريحانة أن يلغي هذا التوكيل في أي وقت شاء.
So then, in this situation, it's permissible for the brother Abu Rayhana to negate or revoke this appointment at any time he wills.
حتى لو أن أخانا عبد الحكيم لم يرضى بهذا الإلغاء.
Even if at that time the brother Abdul Hakim was not pleased by this annulment or abrogation.
أما لو أنه يعني عقد بينهم عقد بيع أو إجارة.
But if in regards to if they have made a contract between them to buy something or to rent something,
فإنه في هذه الحال لا يجوز لأحد الطرفين أن يلغي البيع أو التجارة أو الإيجار عفوا إلا برضا الطرف الآخر.
So in this situation, it is not permissible for one of the two parties to annul or do away with the contract except with the permission or of selling or renting except with the permission of the other.
ثم قال رحمه الله: وكل شرط لازم للعاقد، يعني المتعاقدان في عقد من العقود إذا اشترط أحدهما شرطا فإنه يلزم الآخر الوفاء به.
And so he says, the author rahimahullah, and every condition is necessary upon the contracting parties, meaning that if one of the contracting parties makes a condition in this contract, then it's necessary upon the other that he carry it out or he fulfill it.
في البيع والنكاح والمقاصد، يعني في عقود البيع وعقود النكاح وغيرها من العقود.
He says in this statement that as far as in buying or transaction or in marriage or in maqasid, he says meaning in other than it from the transactions. I mean from the contracts.
مثل الإجارة والشركات وغيرها.
Like renting or partnerships and other than that.
وقد تقدم معنا أن الشرط له معنى اصطلاحي وله معنى لغوي. المعنى اللغوي هو العلامة. الشرط هو العلامة.
He said, and it already preceded with us that the word shart or what translated as condition has a linguistical meaning and it has a terminology meaning. So as far as its linguistical meaning, then it means a sign or alama, something that is a sign.
قال تعالى فقد جاء أشراطها يعني علاماتها.
Allah Ta'ala says the translation, then its signs has come, ashratuha, meaning its alamat, its signs.
أما في الاصطلاح فهو ما يلزم من عدمه العدم ولا يلزم من وجوده وجود ولا عدم كما تقدم.
And as far as in the terminology, then it is that which its absence necessitates absence, but its presence does not necessitate presence nor absence.
فكل الشروط التي يتفق عليها الطرفان يجب الوفاء بها إلا شرطا واحدا.
So every condition that both parties agree upon, then it's necessary that that be carried out by both parties except one type of condition.
وهو الشرط الذي يحلل حراما أو يحرم حلالا.
And that is a condition that makes something that is haram halal or something that is halal haram.
تزوجته بشرط أن لا يجامعها.
He married her with the condition that he لا يجامعها, that he doesn't have intercourse with her.
باعه السيارة بشرط أن لا يبيع المشتري السيارة.
He sold him the car with the condition that the purchaser not sell that car.
أجر عليه البيت بشرط أن لا يسكن فيه.
He rented him a house with the condition that he can't live therein.
وهكذا في كل شرط يخالف الشرط.
And likewise in every condition that goes against the legislation.
مثال ذلك لو تزوج امرأة واشترط عليها أن تشرب معه الخمر.
So an example of that is if he تزوج امرأة, is that if he married a woman and he made a condition that she drink liquor with him.
أو أن تتبرج بزينة.
Or that she go out with her zina or she uncover her zina.
هذه القاعدة يدل عليها قوله صلى الله عليه وسلم المسلمون على شروطهم إلا شرطا حرم حلالا أو أحل حراما.
And this has been proven by the statement of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that the Muslims are upon their conditions except the conditions that make something halal that was haram or make something haram that was halal.
هناك يا إخواني شروط اشترطها الشارع في العقود.
So there are, my brothers, conditions that the legislation or the religion has made them a condition in contracts.
وهناك شروط يشترطها المتعاقدان في العقود.
And there are also conditions that have been made conditional by the two contracting parties in these contracts.
مثال ذلك يعني الشروط التي اشترطها الشارع وجود الولي في عقد النكاح.
So an example of that, meaning the conditions that the legislation has made them a condition, is the presence of a wali in marriage.
وكذلك وجود الصداق في الزواج.
And likewise the presence of the mahar or the dowry in the marriage.
ورضا الزوجين.
And the pleasure between the two marrying parties.
هذه كلها شروط اشترطها الشرع.
So all of these are conditions that have been made conditional by the legislation.
وهي شروط صحة إذا انتفت فالعقد باطل.
And these are the conditions of correctness or sihha, that if these conditions are not present, then the contract is batil, meaning not accepted or null and void.
ومثال الشروط التي يشترطها العاقدان.
And an example of the conditions that the two contracting parties make them conditions.
كأن تشترط عليه المرأة أن لا يخرجها خارج بلادها.
Is as if the woman, or is in the example of a woman was to make a condition that she not be made to leave out of her land.
أو تشترط عليه مثلا أن لا يتزوج عليها.
Or she made the condition that he not marry anyone else with her.
بعض المنصرين يقولون إن محمدا صلى الله عليه وسلم يحرم الحلال.
So منصرين.
He
says, so some of the missionaries, yes, some of the munassirin, some of the missionaries, they say that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to make things that were halal haram.
كيف ذلك؟ قالوا لأنه منع من زواج علي على فاطمة.
He said, how is that? They said that because he prohibited Ali marrying someone else in addition to Fatima.
لأن عليا أراد رضي الله عنه أن يتزوج بنت أبي جهل.
Because Ali radiallahu anhu, he wanted to marry the daughter of Abi Jahl.
فاشتكت فاطمة إلى النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم.
So Fatima complained to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
ثم خطب عليه الصلاة والسلام من الخطبة المعروفة.
And then and then the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam addressed Ali with this addressing that is very well known.
فذكر سحرا له وأثنى عليه.
And then he mentioned the fact that he is his in-law and he praised him.
ومما قال وعدني فصدقني.
And from the things that he said is that he promised me and he carried that promise, or he told me the truth.
ثم ذكر قصة خطبة علي لبنت أبي جهل.
And then he mentioned the story of the proposal of Ali to the daughter of Abi Jahl.
ثم قال عليه الصلاة والسلام أما إني لا أحل حراما ولا أحرم حلالا.
And he said, and as far as me, then I'm not making something halal, I'm not making something haram halal, nor something halal haram.
ولكن والله لا تجتمع بنت حبيب الله مع بنت عدو الله تحت سقف واحد.
But he said, wallahi, as far as it won't be the fact that the daughter of the Habib of Allah will be together with the daughter of the enemy of Allah and under one roof.
هذا الحديث أكثر الذين تكلموا عليه من علماء العصر يقولون أن هذا خاص للنبي صلى الله عليه وسلم.
This hadith, the majority of the people that talk about it from the people of the present time, the contemporaries, they say that this was something that was specific for the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
بمعنى أن فاطمة لها خاصية وهي كونها بنت النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم.
And they mean by that Fatima had some specific type of quality, and that was due to her being the daughter of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
وهذا الكلام باطل.
And this statement is false.
وإنما الصحيح في هذه المسألة هو أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم اشترط على علي أن لا يتزوج على فاطمة.
And instead, that which is correct about this issue is that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam had made a condition upon Ali that he not marry anyone in addition to Fatima.
يدل على هذا فقه الإمام البخاري.
And it is evident, and it becomes evidence by way of this, the fiqh or the understanding of Imam al-Bukhari.
فإنه وضع هذا الحديث تحت باب الشروط في النكاح.
Because he placed this hadith under the chapter of conditions in marriage.
وذكر ابن حجر وابن بطال وغيرهم من شراح البخاري أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم اشترط على علي أن لا يتزوج على فاطمة.
And Ibn Hajar and likewise Ibn Battal and other than them from the ones who explain Sahih al-Bukhari, they say that this is something that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam made a condition upon Ali that he not marry anyone in addition to Fatima.
ورجح هذا القول العلامة ابن القيم رحمه الله رحمة واسعة.
And this statement has been given preponderance by the immense scholar Ibn Qayyim rahimahullah.
أما قول النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم والله لا تجتمع بنت عدو الله مع بنت حبيب الله في بيت واحد أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام.
And as far as the statement of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that they will not be gathered together, the daughter of the enemy of Allah and the daughter of the beloved of Allah under one roof, or as he said sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
فهذا كقول البراء رضي الله عنه حين قال والله لا تكسر سن الربيع.
And this is like the statement of Bara when he said wallahi the molar tooth won't be broken.
ولذلك أبر الله قسمه وقسم النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم فلم يحصل ما أقسم على عدم وقوعه.
And so Allah like this carried out his oath, and so likewise the Prophet his oath was carried out, so he did not have to break his oath.
اشتراط المرأة أن لا يتزوج عليها الزوج محل خلاف عند أهل العلم.
The condition that a woman makes upon her husband that he doesn't marry in addition to her or with her any other woman, this is a place of disagreement amongst the people of knowledge.
لكن الصحيح أنه شرط معتبر.
But the correct opinion is that it's a condition that is considered and accepted.
يكفينا فعل النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم.
It is sufficient for us the action of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
بقيت عندنا نقاط يا إخوان.
And he says, he said, and we have now, it still remains with us certain points, oh my brothers.
الشرط المخالف.
The condition that is considered to be that one that is going against.
إما أن يكون مخالفا لمقتضى الشرع أو يكون مخالفا لمقتضى العقل.
It will either be something that is going against that which is made necessary by the legislation, or that which is made necessary by the intellect.
مثال الشرط المخالف لمقتضى الشرع.
An example of a condition that goes against that which is made necessary or that which is dictated by the legislation.
لو أنه تزوج امرأة بشرط أن تتبرج.
That if he was to marry a woman with the condition that she uncover.
فإن هذا الشرط يخالف مقتضى العقل مقتضى الشرع.
Then this condition goes against that which is made necessary by the legislation.
أو ومثال الشرط الذي يخالف مقتضى العقد.
Or an example of a condition that goes against that which is made necessary by the intellect.
لو باعه سيارة بشرط أن لا يستعمل هذه السيارة.
If he sold him a car with the condition that he not use this car.
فإن هذا يخالف مقتضى العقد، لأن من مقتضى عقد البيع أن يفعل صاحب السيارة ما يشاء.
And he says, and so this is a condition that goes against that which is necessitated by the intellect, because the things that is made necessary by this contract is that the one who is once one purchases something, then he uses it.
ثم قال رحمه الله: تستعمل القرعة عند المبهم من الحقوق أولد التزاحم.
And then the author rahimahullah, he says in this qur'ah, or this divination divination is used, and if something is unclear from the rights, or if there is competition between them.
القرعة معروفة أن نقرع بين اثنين.
And this qur'ah, this divination, is something that is maybe is well known, that you try to give this divination between two people.
كان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا أراد أن يخرج إلى سفر أقرع بين زوجاته.
And so the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, if he wanted to go out and make a trip, he would do this qur'ah between his zawjat.
ما معنى هذا الكلام؟
What does this statement mean?
يعني كان يجري قرعة عليه الصلاة والسلام، فمن خرج حظها أو سهمها في هذه القرعة أخذها معه في هذا السفر.
That he sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to do this qur'ah, so whoever, or this divination, so whoever her arrow or her slip or her tab came out in this divination, then he would take her with him sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
هذه القرعة تستخدم شرعا في حالتين.
This type of divination can be used legislatively in two conditions, in two situations.
إذا تساوى اثنان في حق من الحقوق ولا مرجح بينهما.
If two individuals are equal in the rights and certain rights from the different rights, and there is nothing that gives one of them preponderance over the other.
مثال ذلك لو اختلف اثنان على القيام بوظيفة الأذان.
Like if two people disagreed about who should be able to establish giving the adhan.
كلاهما قد اجتمعت فيه كل الشروط.
Each of them have possessed all of its conditions.
وانتفت عنه كل الموانع.
And it has been uplifted or removed off of them every hindrance or prohibitor.
وكلاهما رفض أن يتنازل عن حقه.
And each of them have denied that they back down from that which is their right.
فإنه في هذه الحال نجري القرعة بينهما.
So we, in this situation, we do this qur'ah between the two of them.
وفي المقام الثاني إذا أبهم صاحب الحق ما عرفنا من هو صاحب الحق.
And in the second type of situation is if the one who deserves it or the one who has the right is unclear.
والقاعدة هذه يا إخوان يعني أدلتها من الشرع كثيرة.
And this principle, oh my brothers, its evidences from the religion or the legislation are plentiful.
من أدلتها قول النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم: لو يعلم الناس ما في النداء يعني في الأذان والصف الأول ثم لم يجدوا إلا أن يستهموا عليه لاستهموا.
And from them is the statement of the Prophet ﷺ that if the people knew about what was in the adhan, in the first row, meaning from the reward, and they didn't find any way except that they draw arrows about it, then they would have done this.
استهموا يعني استخدموا السهام في القرعة.
Meaning that this istahamu, meaning that if they were to use arrows in this form of divination, as far as in this type of fashion of Qur'an.
والحديث رواه البخاري في صحيحه رحمه الله.
And this hadith has been narrated by Bukhari in his Sahih rahimahullah.
ويدل عليه كذلك ما تقدم من أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم كان إذا أراد أن يخرج في سفر أقرع بين نسائه.
And it also is an evidence of that which has preceded, that the Prophet ﷺ, if he wanted to go out for a trip, he would do this Qur'an between his women.
وهذا الحديث متفق عليه.
And this hadith is also agreed upon.
يقول علام ابن القيم: فهذه السنة كما ترى قد جاءت بالقرعة كما جاء بها الكتاب.
And he says, so this is the sunnah. So the sunnah, as you see, has come with this Qur'an or this divination as well as it has come in the book.
القرآن دل على مشروعية القرعة في أكثر من آية.
So the Quran has proven or given reference to the legislation of this Qur'an in more than one ayah.
منها قوله تعالى: وما كنت لديهم إذ يلقون أقلامهم أيهم يكفل مريم.
And then from them is his statement, the translation with is, you were not with them when they did this Qur'an with their pens to see which one of them will be responsible for Maryam.
يلقون أقلامهم يعني يجرون القرعة.
Meaning that they threw their pens, meaning that they were performing this